said I had a few hours ago, I didn't let it out. Because it really wasn't like I thought it was. And I was ready to tell him about that. So that taught me a great lesson. And that's why I didn't, by the time I saw him, I didn't just go, as we say, I'm going to go in on him. I didn't just go in on him. I just asked him the question. Galatians 5 and verse 14. Go ahead.
For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
See, you should love your neighbor as yourself. That's the law. And the law is still good now. That's why he's talking about it. You love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus said in Matthew, I think it's 7, the law and the prophets is that what you would have people do unto you, then you do it unto them. Same thing. So whenever we make a mistake, even if we're wrong, we would want somebody to give us the benefit of the doubt and even give us a second chance. But that means that's what the way we need to look at things, right? Go to the next verse, verse 15.
But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
See, we can let things get out of hand. He said the law is fulfilled in one word, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if we bite and devour one another, just watch out, take heed that you be not consumed one another. What do you mean bite and devour? That's you let all this strife and contention just control you. Skip down to verse 26 and go ahead.
Let us not be desirous of vainglory.
See, we can do that. We can be desirous of vainglory. I done seen strife over somebody trying to get some glory over nothing. I done seen that. Matter of fact, a brother's wife was saying one time, well, they mistreating you. They don't respect you enough like they respect Elijah. That's what drove him off the deep end. Like they see, and now he's looking for some vain glory, which this don't mean nothing. So he said, let us not be desirous of vain glory. Doing what?
Provoking one another. Envying one another.
And envying one another. Because that's only going to create strife and contention. Go to Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13. And we're going to read one verse. See, we heard about how wise Solomon was. Well, he gave a litany of little wise phrases and sayings. And we're going to read a bunch of them. But all of it is what we're dealing with. Strife and contention appeased by the wise. Again, if you operating with some wisdom, you're going to know what your job is when it comes to whatever is going on. And if you can't figure it out, then it's best not to even get involved in it if you can't figure it out. Proverbs 13 and 10. Go ahead.
Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom.
Now notice that. He said, only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. So again, whatever it is, whenever it go down, it's going to be some pride involved. Only by pride cometh contention. So if this is some contention, you could just look around. Somebody is operating in some pride. Even if it's a problem, that can be a problem. It could be, the Lord said, if your brother sin against you, then go tell him his fault between thee and him. So you got a genuine problem already. But still, that can be resolved. But now, when you got constant contention and strife between brothers and sisters, that don't have to be. He said, only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. That's why the title is Strife and Contention Appeased by the Wise. Because it's going to be something. It's just how you handle it. Look for the answer. 12 and 16. Proverbs 12 and 16. Back up one chapter. one verse here. Go ahead.
A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame.
See, he said a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. What do you mean a fool's wrath is present? You know, because sometimes we will get ourselves bent out of shape and angry about something, and we out of order. He said, a fool's wrath is presently known. That's why I say in James, the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. So we can get bent out of shape. Again, somebody can do something to me, and I can respond in wrath. I'm the one being a fool. Instead of responding like the Lord say respond. Instead of trying to appease the matter and say, brother, you know, like a bunch of y'all owe me money. So instead of me just flying off the handle, give me my money. Where my money at? You know it's been 6 years. What's wrong with you? Instead of me doing that, I can say, look, you know, you said you was going to pay me so-and-so, so-and-so. You know, do you have my money? What's going on? Keep me abreast of it or something, instead of flying off the handle. Because he said, a fool's wrath is presently known. But what he said, but a prudent man covers shame. Now, if you got some wisdom, you are going to cover shame. You ain't trying to make no situation worse. Go to Proverbs, the 10th chapter. Back up a little more, Proverbs 10. So we got to be careful on operating in wrath, because the question always come up, who do we think we are? Proverbs 10, pick it up at verse 12. Go ahead.
Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all sins.
See, we operating in hatred. That's going to stir up strife. Hatred stirreth up strife. So now the title is Strife and Contention, Appeased by the Wise. If you're a servant of God, you're trying to figure out how to make things better, how to end some strife and contention, not turn on the faucet full blast. He said, hatred stirreth up strife, but love covereth all sins. Sometimes when you look at a situation, because I had to ask myself this, well, why am I so upset at that situation? Because sometimes it's not the situation per se. Sometimes it's something in us. It's not the situation. It's something in us. It's something, and you have to really look at yourself and say, why am I so upset at that situation? I done did that myself. And then I had to ask myself, where's all this? Because a lot of times we got something in the back of our mind. We got some other kind of agenda or some other kind of idea that we are feeding. That's what we have to look at. It's just like, again, some people that got mad at me. I didn't even know they was mad, first of all. I did not know that. You couldn't have told me they was mad at me. And they jumped up and snapped off. And then they brought me something. They said, well, you did so-and-so. And what so-and-so was, nobody in their right mind would find a problem with it. Like, what? That's what you say you upset about? No, you got something else on your mind. You just don't want to let it out. It's something else going on. It's just like we read a couple of weeks ago. We read how, what is that, Numbers 12, about Aaron and Miriam rising up against Moses. And what they said was, Moses, you wrong because you married this Ethiopian woman. That's what they said with their mouth. See, they had to put a face on their anger. They had to put a face on their anger. So they said, Moses done jumped up and married this Ethiopian wrong. This Ethiopian woman, he bogus for that. Then when they start talking, really the truth started coming out what's really in the back of their mind. They done made themselves more than they are now. Because what came out, they said, and plus. You know, when there's always a plus or a but, there's something else going on. And plus, the Lord ain't just talking about Moses. Haven't the Lord spoke by us as well? That's the real agenda. You think Moses getting too much credit. You ain't getting enough credit like you want. You think you more than you are not. But you're going to use an incident to push your agenda. And sometimes it might not be intentional. It might be something in the back of your mind. But still, hatred stirreth up strife, but love covereth all sin. If you got God's agenda, you're going to be trying to help a matter. Skip down to verse 19 and go ahead.
In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise.
Oh, in the multitude of words, you don't have to look hard for sin. The more we start talking in a situation, it's going to be some sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. That's in most of the time, that's always a good response, especially if you don't really have no idea what to say. Don't say nothing. Proverbs 11 now. Proverbs 11. Because strife and contention is going to happen, but if you're wise, you'll be able to handle it. You'll be able to appease it. It don't have to get out of hand. Proverbs 11 and verse 12. Go ahead.
He that is void of understanding despiseth his neighbor.
See, he that is void of understanding despiseth his neighbor. Don't even have a real reason to despise your neighbor. You void of understanding. Some people told me that. Some people said, look, I don't know what it is. It's something about that person. I said, come back to me when you figure out what it is. Because that don't make no sense. See, it's something, I can't put my finger on it. It's something about, look, I don't even want to hear about it. You got to be able to put your finger on it. Now, if they did something wrong, then you address that and still move past it. But sometimes we dislike people because they're different from us. He said, he that is void of understanding despiseth his neighbor, but what?
But a man of understanding holdeth his peace.
See, but a man of understanding, he going to hold his peace. The Bible says even a fool is counted wise when he hold his peace too. And I done seen that in work. I done seen that in action. I told years ago, I seen a brother, he wouldn't say nothing. He'd be around the brothers. He'd be around the brothers and would never say nothing. And my idea of this brother that he was so wise. And it's crazy. I thought that because he ain't never showed me that. He ain't never said nothing to make me think he was wise. But I realized later it was because he hadn't said nothing. And I'm just looking at the brother just be around. People be talking, brothers be talking, trying to show what they know, and he just be there. And that was my opinion of him. That brother is sharp. I didn't even know why I thought that. I didn't realize it until later, till he opened his mouth. Then I realized why I thought he was so wise. This scripture came to mind. I was like, that's a sharp brother. Oh my goodness, he opened his mouth and let the cat out the bag. He was talking so crazy. I said, boy, if he only would have been quiet, I wouldn't have never knew. That's what the Bible says. He that holdeth his, even a fool, it say that. You can read that on your own. A fool is counted wise when he hold his peace. You don't even know. You could be a fool. Don't let the cat out the bag. Till you might be able to get your act together. Don't reveal it to everybody till you can get it together. He said, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. Verse 13.
A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter.
See, he said, talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. So that lets you know, just like people that told me stuff, It ain't my job to go tell. They done told me, look, I had a problem, such and such, such and such. It ain't my business to try to tell everybody about that. Especially when they telling me in confidence and trying to get their act together about it. So people done said things that they shouldn't say, then it's not for me to run and tell the person that they said something. I tell them, I said, look, you shouldn't talk like that. That was a bad assessment. But I'm still not going to go say, Paul, you know, brother so-and-so was talking about you, said such and such. Because that's just going to create some unnecessary problems. Maybe they was just venting at the moment. But he said, talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Why are you going to conceal the matter? Because you trying to appease strife. Now, it'll be sometime when you will need to say so. That's what going back to, you have to know the time and the judge. Because the Bible also says open rebuke is better than secret love. So it'll be sometime when you know when you have to address a matter. But it won't be you just revealing secrets for no reason. He said, talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that's of a faithful spirit conceals the matter. So whatever you're doing, you got to know what's the profit of it. Why I'm doing that. Am I just operating according to my own agenda, or am I wise enough to deal with and appease the situation? Go to Numbers 21. Numbers 21. That's what you have to always look at. Sometimes we get caught up in just murmuring and saying things that ain't going to benefit nobody. Even when it's something wrong. Just like we all done heard of people having a pity party. Well, that's easy to have, but the question is, what are you resolving? It's a bad situation going on over here, so you just going to be over there in the corner murmuring about, yeah, that's bogus. Yeah, that wasn't right. Yeah, you know that wasn't right. Yeah, okay, how you going to help it though? It's like this situation. Israel is good for murmuring without any resolution. Don't have no resolution. 21:1, go ahead.
And when King Arad the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. And Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord and said, if thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Hormah.
Now pay attention to this. This show you how things can turn on a dime. Things can change in an instant. Israel, out in the wilderness, God been with them all along. God just gave them an example on how he's with them. Not to mention he had split the Red Sea, killed all of Pharaoh's firstborn, and split the Red Sea and brought them out. But even in this immediate instance, he worked on their behalf. It said, verse 2, Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord, say, if thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. Verse 3, and the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities, and he called the name of the place Hobah. So that's a pretty good day. The Lord helped you fight and overcome your enemies. How in the world the Lord help you fight and do all this today, and you just lose your faith tomorrow and don't know which way to go because of an incident, because of you got something came your way, a problem that came. Because that's the title, Strife and Contention, Appeased by the Wise. See, they had a good day, but that don't mean tomorrow won't be a bad day, but you know God is with you, so you overcome tomorrow. They had a good day. Then what happened? Verse 4.
And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. Oh,
now their soul is much discouraged. Something came up to bring them down. Well, something going to always come up, brothers and sisters. You can be doing good today. You can be on top of the world today. Just be prepared for tomorrow, because something's going to be there to bring you down. That's what Job understood. Job told his wife when she started agonizing too much over the situation, he said, look, shall we take the good from God and not the bad? We accepted that from his hand, so now, hey, we have to accept this. He still know what he's doing. He ain't forgot. He's still sitting on the throne. So they journeyed from Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom, and the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. Now, the Lord just got through fighting for him a minute ago. You knew the Lord was with you. What make you think he done left you now because you ran into some problems? Go ahead.
And the people spake against God and against Moses.
Now, you see how crazy that is? God just delivered you from your enemies, gave you a victory that you were excited and happy about. So you should know when God with you. God gonna show you he's with you. That's why whatever happens, God can show me that he with me. So when something else happened, I still remember that he with me. So I ain't ready to throw the towel in. Maybe years ago, I might have been a little weak when something came up. But once you get some understanding, God has showed you with you, you got to remember that when the hard times come. So now, it said that people turned around and spake against God and against Moses and said what?
Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread.
See, that was their problem. They said, man, God bogus. He done brought us up to die. Look, he just let you beat the people down a minute ago. You was happy. They was singing songs and everything. And then they turn around, God ain't right, Moses ain't right. He done brought us out of Egypt so we can die out here. Ain't no bread. We ain't even got no water. We got this other bread, ain't no good. This light bread. Verse 6, go ahead.
And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people.
Boy, they don't know who they was dealing with. The same Lord that gave you the victory yesterday, you go ahead and cross him today and see what he do to you. Because something bad didn't happen. He said, the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people. The Lord didn't like that. They thought they was messing just with Moses. The Lord didn't like that. He sent serpents and started biting them. Go ahead.
And they bit the people, and much people of Israel died.
And much people of Israel died. Now what they doing? 7.
Therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned.
Oh, you did, huh? Okay, go ahead.
For we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people.
See, Moses turned around and prayed for them. But that was unnecessary. You know the Lord with you. He done split the Red Sea, brought you out there. That ain't no accident. But that's how we are. We will be ready to wither the next day after the Lord then gave you a victory the day before. Keep your finger here. We're going to come back. Go to 1 Corinthians 10. Keep your finger in Numbers. We're going to come back to Numbers 16. But go to 1 Corinthians 10. Because he's going to tell us about this very situation. And that's, people want to do away with the Old Testament. He's going to tell us here in 1 Corinthians 10 that all of the Old Testament, the stuff that we just read, for instance, is an example for us that we don't be like them. So we don't want to be fair weather servants of God. We don't want to faint when the first problem come along. When stuff don't go even like it should have went. Because stuff going to go wrong. 1 Corinthians 10 and pick it up at verse 5. And go ahead.
But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness.
See, back to the wilderness where we were just reading that in Numbers. God was not, he brought them out of Egypt, but he overthrew a lot of them in the wilderness because they displeased him. Verse 6.
Now these things were our examples to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted.
See, we don't do away with the Old Testament. Now, all that's an example for us. In this case, that we don't follow the bad lead that they left for us, the bad example. He said, that's an example to the intent we should not do like them and lust after evil things as they also lusted. We don't want to do that. We got good examples of people who followed the Lord. We want to be like them. Skip down to verse 10 and go ahead.
Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured.
See, we don't want to get into murmur. That's what they was doing in Numbers. If you don't have a solution to solve the problem, ain't no need of just complaining about it. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured. Go ahead.
And were destroyed of the destroyer.
And were destroyed of the destroyer. Read verse, I should have read verse 9. I missed that. Go ahead, read verse 9.
Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents.
See, that's what we read in Numbers. They were destroyed of serpents. But now what is all this? Verse 11, go ahead.
Now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come.
See, he said, now all these things happen unto them for example. That's an example for us that we don't do what they did. They've written for our admonition, whom the ends of the world have come. Go back to Numbers now, Numbers 16. Let's look at another example then. Numbers 16. Numbers 16. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1, and we're going to read a lot of this, but we're going to skip a little bit because it's a lot. Number 16. See, brothers and sisters, you know if you have 4 people, out of the first 4 people born, one of them got murdered by one of the other 3, you know man got some problems on his hand. So we shouldn't expect nothing less than have to deal with stuff, but we should know if you're serving God, you can overcome it. And you got to be looking to make situations better. Numbers 16 and 1. So this ain't no different. Look, God was with Israel face to face, brought them out of Egypt, and they are still acting crazy. You think it ain't going to be some people around here acting crazy? Making mistakes, doing things they shouldn't do. When God has split the Red Sea and they turn around and rebelled against him. Numbers 16 and 1. Look at this. Moses talking to God face to face, and they still rebelling. Go ahead.
Now Korah, the son of Ishar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men.
Okay, now these are some of the leaders under Moses. God is working with Moses, and Moses got leaders under him, even from the tribe of Levi and other guys, and here they are, they're going to take some men, it said. And what they do with these men, verse 2.
And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
See, now, these men, they rose up against Moses. Obviously, they thought they had a cause. I mean, sometime again, we can have something in the back of our mind, and we point to something. Just like one of the things that happened, because Aaron, the Lord made him the first high priest. But Aaron wasn't by no means perfect. Aaron had made a golden calf and had the people worship. And the Lord wanted to kill Aaron. Moses had to pray for Aaron to stop the Lord from killing him. But once the Lord had forgave Aaron, hey, he made him, after that, he made him the high priest. So that might have been one of the reasons why, because sometimes people make a mistake and they say, well, look, the Lord not with him. But then they got something in the back of their mind. So they took men and they rose up before Moses with 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. So obviously, you know, like the Bible says, it's a way to seem right to a man, but the way thereof are the ways of death. So obviously, they think they got something going on here. They think they got something. And Moses is a man talking to God face to face, and they think they got something. Let alone us nowadays, who's so far removed from God. Go ahead, verse 3.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron.
See, they think they just dealing with Moses and Aaron. They done forgot about the Lord. They done put the Lord out the picture. They think this is just about Moses and Aaron. We're going to deal with them. They ain't no better than us. They ain't this. Look, they might not be, but if the Lord chose them to do what they doing, you should be careful. That's what people don't understand. They gathered themselves against Moses and Aaron and what?
And said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy. Every one of them.
See, we don't see no real big problem, but they coming against Moses. And again, that's what you have to do, brothers and sisters, when it seems to be, even in your mind, that something is so bad that you're going to come against somebody. You have to really ask yourself, what is it really? Really, what's the problem? See, that's what they needed to ask themselves here. What is the problem? Is it that bad that you hate Moses and Aaron so much? What did they say? They said at verse 3, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy. See, they said, look, y'all think y'all more than you are. You making yourself out to be like a king. That's what they're going to say later on. You making yourself out to be like a king. Go ahead.
And the Lord is among them.
And see, it's the Lord with us all. You know, we all leaders. Go ahead.
Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
See, they said, why y'all lifting y'allself up? So they going to put Moses and Aaron in their place. That's what they doing. They said, y'all need to be put in y'all place. But they forgot. They forgot about the Lord. They forgot that the Lord gave Moses and Aaron a job they got. Go ahead.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
Moses tried to get out of it for him. Go ahead.
And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his, and who is holy, and who will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
See, they had crossed the line by this point, bringing this strife and contention, and Moses said, hey, we're going to find out tomorrow. Go ahead.
This do. Take you censers, Korah, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi.
See, he threw it back on them. Because they said Moses and Aaron took too much on them. He said, look, we're going to find out tomorrow. The Lord going to answer this. He going to appease this strife, but it ain't going to be easy. He going to settle this score. And you going to know who the Lord then chose to do what. And as a matter of fact, you take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. Because they was telling Moses, you basically, you too puffed up. You done got puffed up. So that we're going to bring you down. But Moses, he said, to the contrary, you the one take too much on yourself. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Korah, Hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel?
See, now this is great strife and contention, and God is right on the scene with them. Matter of fact, God getting ready to show up in a little bit. I'm talking about show up. God, it's like God being right around the corner. It's like you know God. We on what? We on 15th right now, right? It's just like you know for sure God is right down the street on 17th. you still going to act crazy? So you know there will be strife and contention wherever you at. They know God right around the corner. They done seen the cloud and everything. But they still not afraid. So you think somebody ain't going to be afraid to bring some strife and contention now? So he told them, he said, you think, God had given them a position by way of Moses. And he said, nah, that ain't good enough for you, because in the back of their mind, they wanted to remove, they figured it was their time to step up even further. It's their time to shine even further. And, Aaron, he need to be out the way. That's really what they was looking at. Maybe because Aaron made the calf or whatever it was, they was trying to displace Aaron. Their position that they had really wasn't good enough. But they used, of course they got something in their mind that they're going to reason with to come to that conclusion. But go ahead.
Middle of verse 9. To bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
He said, you think that's a light thing, what you doing already, verse 10.
And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee. And seek ye the priesthood also?
Oh, see, he said, seek you the priesthood also. See, they had other designs in their mind. They had other designs. It's time for them to step up even further. So a lot of times that can be in the back of our mind, and we grab hold to a situation and say, yeah, he ain't worthy to do what he doing. And in the back of their mind, look, it's time for me to step up. Go ahead, verse 11.
For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord.
He said, you gathered against the Lord. You don't know it. You gathered against the Lord. You and all your company are gathered against the Lord. And matter of fact, what?
And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him?
He said, because Aaron ain't nobody. He said, what is Aaron that you murmur? Notice he talking about murmuring. What is Aaron that you murmuring against him? See, only thing Aaron is he been put there by the Lord. So your problem is not Aaron, your problem is the Lord. Regardless of what you think about Aaron personally. Go ahead, verse 12.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
See, I seen this over the years, brothers and sisters. When I was at the Israel of God, it was always some brothers in the background trying to stir up stuff, telling people this, telling people that. And they wouldn't even say nothing when I come around, because they knew I wasn't going for it. They were like, shit, there go Elijah. They was like, that's buoy eyes and ears. But I wasn't going for no foolishness. Why are you going to sit in the background and be trying to stir something up? Look, go start you a class. Ain't no need to sit in the background. But one time, Bowie put him on the spot. I've seen a whole lot of stuff. That's why I know how to handle a few things. Bowie put him on the spot. They back there doing all this talking. Bowie said, come up here and show what you got. They was ducking around in the crowd. Then when one brother came up, because he was sincere, even though he was wrong, he came up and tried to show that Bowie was wrong about something. At least he had enough guts to at least say what he thought. The rest of them was sneaking out the back door. See, that's what they doing right here. They just stirred up some confusion, got everybody upset. Matter of fact, they got a whole lot of people against Moses and Aaron right now. So verse 12, read that again.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
See, he said, look, y'all come up, we're going to deal with this. He said, no, we ain't coming up. Who you think you is? We ain't coming up. And they going to talk a little stuff under their breath. 13.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness? Except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us?
See, they just slinging mud now. See what they doing? They said, we ain't coming nowhere. Is it a small thing that you done brought us up out of the land of milk and honey? So they call in Egypt the land of milk and honey, which they were slaves there. They said, you done brought us, we was doing good in Egypt. Is it a small thing you done brought us up out of the land of milk and honey, and you going to kill us in the wilderness? And if that ain't enough, you going to make yourself a prince over us? They slinging mud. 14.
Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey.
See, they don't know they talking against God, though. Because whatever Moses was doing, it was by God's hand. Moses wasn't doing nothing on his own, neither was Aaron. It was by God's hand. They hadn't got to the promised land yet, the land of milk and honey, because it wasn't time. They wasn't ready to get there with all this confusion. They wasn't ready to get nowhere. Go ahead.
Or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards.
Uh-huh.
Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men?
Uh-huh.
We will not come up.
They said, we ain't coming up. You trying to put out the eyes of these men. We ain't coming up. We see through you. We see now. You can't fool us no more. Go ahead, 15.
And Moses was very wroth.
Moses was upset, boy. And he didn't get upset easy. Moses was very meek. But they slinging mud. Go ahead, 15.
And Moses was very wroth, and said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them.
See, they acting like Moses did something to them. That's really what they acting. They didn't went overboard now. They acting like Moses really had did something to them. Oh, you ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing you said. And you ain't worried. Now you done made yourself a prince over us. And it then got out of hand, and Moses prayed to the Lord. He said, Lord, don't respect their offering. I have not did nothing to them. I ain't did nothing to them. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. That's why, again, you have to ask yourself, why am I so upset at somebody? If you get that upset at somebody, you really need to be able to lay a whole lot of stuff on the table. And they didn't have nothing. That's because something else was going on in their mind. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow.
But look at this, brothers and sisters. This is a whole lot of strife and contention, ain't it? See, but we're not ready nowadays to deal with the slightest situation come up. That's why Paul told the Corinthians, they got to the point they were ready to sue one another. He said, you can't handle small matters. You can't handle the smallest matters and operate according to God's judgment. And we're supposed to be trying to be God. So Moses told them to be ready tomorrow. We're going to deal with this. 17.
And take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer.
See, that's a whole lot of people stirring up some strife and contention. 250 started off against Moses and Aaron, and now you got the whole congregation believe. The whole nation is against Moses and Aaron, because when a bad situation come up, people want to act crazy anyway. They looking for a way to act crazy. Go ahead.
And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron.
Now, they had enough gumption to do it, though. Moses said, let's put this to the test. So they going to do it. So that means in their mind, they really think the Lord on their side. They think the Lord. They really think they got something going here. They have fooled themselves. So they going to make their offering to the Lord. Moses already prayed, Lord, don't accept it. What they talking about ain't right. I ain't did nothing to them. Go ahead.
And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
See, now he got everybody convinced. He got everybody going against Moses and Aaron. He got the whole congregation there. And the Lord showed up. I told you right on 17. He right around the corner in this instance, right? And the Lord showed up. And he talking to Moses. He said, Moses, get out the way. I'm finna kill all these people. And Moses go to praying for them. But skip down now to verse 28, because the Lord told Moses what he was going to do right away to these sinners. 28, go ahead.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord had sent me to do all these works.
See, Moses stopped them from killing all of them because they had everybody messed up. So Moses, the Lord said, okay, well, you better tell them people to get away from them. So Moses told them, they left the ones who were stirring the strife and contention. And so he said, hereby you're going to know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works. For what?
For I have not done them of mine own mind.
Moses said, I ain't done this on my own mind. Go ahead.
If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me.
See, the Lord had let Moses know what he was going to do. And Moses said, well, the Lord ain't sent me. If they die a normal death for stirring up this strife and contention, then you know the Lord ain't sent. Matter of fact, if they have a normal burial and you can go look at their headstone, then the Lord ain't sent me. Because the Lord about to do a new thing. I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. What?
But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
He said, then you're going to understand if the Lord do something different here. And that's exactly, by the time Moses got through speaking, it was on. As we say, it was on like popcorn. But these people thought they had Moses. They thought they really had something on Moses and Aaron. Some triggered this in their mind. They thought they had them. And now what happened? 31.
And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods.
Now, that's a lot of strife and contention, and that's a big reward for it. The earth opened her mouth and swallowed all of their stuff up. Them and all their stuff. And these were big shots in the congregation. Go ahead.
They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
See, we ain't ready to see nothing like that. And they perished from among the congregation. Go ahead.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them.
Of course. Go ahead.
For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
Of course. Go ahead.
And there came out a fire from the Lord.
And the Lord didn't forget the other ones because they didn't come. Some of them didn't come up, right? And there came out a fire from the Lord and did what?
And consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
See, a fire came out and caught them. Consumed the 250 men that offered incense. That show you they had enough nerve to put their wrong thinking on the line. They put their wrong thinking on the line. Yeah, we'll do it. Come on. And the Lord sent fire out and burned them. But now, all that happened, show you how people can be mixed up. It would have been over with. The Lord settled that. But people's minds so mixed up. What they say the next day, verse 41. What they say, they still got in some more trouble. It could have been over, brothers, if they would just accepted that the Lord didn't like what them guys tried to do and killed them. Now we can move past it. What happened, verse 41? This the next day. Go ahead.
But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
You mean you ain't learned yet? This the next day. And the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. What they say?
Saying, ye have killed the people of the Lord.
Boy, Israel messed up, ain't it? The very next day they come out there. You know some of them getting ready to die too, don't you? You can read that on your own. They getting ready to die. Because this is the next day. Y'all done killed the people. How they kill? You think they open the ground up and kill them people? Or send fire out and kill them? But you're going to blame them for that? Nah. Go to Proverbs 26. We're going to wrap it up. Proverbs 26. You can read the rest on your own. They brought some more plague on themselves from the Lord. Because the strife and contention should have been over. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, if I would have been alive after that, I don't think there was no way possible I would have opened my mouth the next day. I'd have been sitting in my tent trembling still. And these people got enough nerve. Y'all done killed the people of the Lord. Y'all ain't right. Proverbs 26. Proverbs 26. Israel's something else, boy. 26 and verse 20. Go ahead.
Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth.
See, even in that case, when the Lord then showed his hand in that should have been the end of the strife. But they didn't even let it go out. I'm telling you, if you keep reading, some more people died the next day because they wouldn't let it go. See, they didn't think it was going to happen like that. Sometimes you got to know when to let it go. He said, where no wood is, if there's no wood, the fire will go out. It will be all over. But then he said, so where there's no talebearer, the strife ceases. So the strife can cease or somebody can keep it going. The goal is to have the strife cease, right? Once you done dealt with it, then you done came to a conclusion. Well, what can you do about it? What can we do to fix it? Okay, leave it alone, and then you continue with it. That's like keep putting wood on fire. That's what they was doing. Verse 17, back up a little bit. Back up a little bit, because this shows you every situation is not something for you to do something about. You might not even be able to do nothing about it, brothers and sisters. Verse 17. Go ahead.
He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears.
See, this in the Bible for a reason. Because you can involve yourself in something and it's not even your business. And you done seen this. I done seen this happen and I done heard of it. You know, a man snapping on his wife, arguing with his wife. And another man came up. Why are you talking to that woman like, you know, you shouldn't be talking to her. Look, man, this is my wife. Stay out of my business. Now, don't nobody want to see nobody get abused or done wrong, but hey, that's a touchy situation. You better be careful. And I ain't lying. The man ended up fighting the man. Because now he done got fired up. Now he going to get in an argument with the man because he feel he talking to his own wife the wrong way. And they start fighting. And the wife come up and hit the other man upside the head with a bottle. Said, that's my husband, mister. You have just grabbed a dog by the ears. That's something you should have left alone. It's not always time. He said, he that passeth by and meddle with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. See, you can even see in the case, the woman ain't even asked for no help. She wasn't even trying to get no help. The man just come along, you know, thinking he being a good Samaritan, right? He gonna be a good Samaritan, but you gotta know time and judgment on stuff like that. But now, go to Proverbs 20. See, then that creates unnecessary strife. I can see if the woman come to you and say, look, even when women come to me talking about their husband, I ain't going to say nothing. If they ask me, would you say something to my husband? Then I would say something to their husband if they ask me that. But I know how to approach him. I ain't getting ready to go, what's wrong with you doing so-and-so, so-and-so? Nah, I'm going to know how to approach it. But sometimes they say something, they say, well, I don't want you to say nothing. You think I'm getting ready to go say something? No, I'm going to stay out of that. 20 and 3. Proverbs 20 and 3. Go ahead.
It is an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling.
See, this is all in the Bible for a reason. Because the goal is to appease the strife. And it's honor for a man to cease from strife. That's what the honor is, to end the strife, to settle the strife, but every fool will be meddling. What, they ain't going to let the strife end. They want it to keep going. They have to ask themselves, why am I so upset? Why do I want to keep it going? Proverbs 16. Proverbs 16. See, but when you get some wisdom, you're going to know which way to go. 16 and 28. Proverbs 16 and 28. Go ahead.
A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends.
See, a forward man, that means, hey, they going the wrong way. They got some ill intentions. A forward man soweth strife. See, there's always somebody to sow strife. And a whisperer separated chief friends. See, if you let them, a whisperer will separate chief friends. That's why I don't go off one thing somebody tell me either. I already know it's two sides to every story. I'm not just accepting. Even when I hear it, I say, I'm not getting ready to make no assessment just on that. That's why the Bible say, a fool answer the matter before he hear it. So I'm not getting ready to make no assessment just on that. A forward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separated chief friend. Because then you start whispering to people this and whispering to people that. And now people upset with one another, and it didn't even have to be. Skip back up to verse 20 and go ahead.
He that handleth the matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in the Lord, happy is he.
See, and that's the key. If you trusting in the Lord, you serving the Lord, you will understand how to handle a matter wisely. Strife and contention appeased by the wise. See, if you got some wisdom, you're going to know how to handle it. You're going to know which way to go. And definitely if you don't know which way to go, ain't no need even putting your 2 cents in. If you don't know. I'm not even sure what to do on this. Well, ain't no need of doing nothing. Go to Proverbs 15. We're almost done. Proverbs 15, verse 1. Go ahead.
A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
See, we trying to make things better. I said this before. You know, we all been in the world and been in the flesh, and somebody say something or do something to us, we respond the wrong way. That ain't helping the matter at all. A soft answer turneth away wrath. I told you before, I saw that he said somewhere else, a soft answer breaketh the bone. It took me a while to get to this point and learn this. And then you still got to catch yourself because you'll get angry in a minute. You got to watch yourself. I'm telling you, a guy pulled up beside me snapping. I couldn't even hear him because his window was, my window was up. He pulled up beside me. I almost wanted to cut me off, pulled up on the side like. I couldn't hear nothing. Probably thank God. But the Lord caught me because before I might have been reaching for something in my car. But the Lord caught me. I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about. That's what really caught me off guard. I hadn't even seen. I rolled down the window, and he was like, you so-and-so, you did so-and-so, you so-and-so. And the Lord caught me because before it would have been something else. And I was like, I didn't know what he's talking about, so I couldn't really address it. So I was like, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm sorry. And he did a double take. It was like he said, he just sped off. He couldn't even say nothing else. I was like, man, that's how I shut him up. Now, we could have been out in the street boxing, probably normally. But just by me saying, because I didn't know what he was talking, I said, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know, I'm sorry. He didn't know what to do. He was messed up. He couldn't even curse no more. He sped off. And I went on about my business. Have a good day. But he said, probably because I didn't have a clue what he was talking about, I was able to come back and understanding the Lord by this time, I was able to come back with a soft answer because he was irate. He was irate. And I can get irate too. Very easily in a situation like that because he was snapping. But I know what the Bible say here. And the Bible says soft answer breaketh the bone. It looked like his bone was broke because he took off. I got to get away from this dude. It's like I pulled a gun on him or something. That's the way he took off. It's almost like I could have came up with a gun. I just said I'm sorry. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So I could have came that way and we just would have been in the street. The best man would have won. Whoever had something else in the car would have won. Verse 2. Over what? Something I didn't even know about though? Over a traffic incident? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Verse 2.
The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness.
Go ahead.
The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
See, that's when you understand the Lord is everywhere. He see what's going on. You ain't even got to worry about doing God's job. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Skip